All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. First, I'm excited to show you guys around version V2. Not sure who all has actually switched over to V2, so I'm going to show you how to actually do that. And then I'm also going to show you how to manage your new products page as compared to what doesn't exist in V1. I'm going to show you how to list a product on eBay and go more in depth with that. List a product on Amazon. Also list with variations if you haven't experienced that. I'm going to show you how to add instances such as multiple eBay accounts, multiple Amazon accounts, or even multiple plugins. If you're listing on Magento and you have multiple Magento stores or Etsy stores, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. And as usual, if you want to check out any of the guides, we have SureDone.com/guides. And we have all of these new guides, whether it be for bulk listing, Magento, Volusion, ShipStation, all of those are located under SureDone.com/guides. So to get started here, I'm actually showing you V1 for those that are still in V1, so you can see how to turn V2 on in your account. First, you'll go to Settings, and then you'll go to General. And when you get to General, go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see right here, you'll see V2 off. You want to flip this to on. I'm not going to do that on this account, but you want to flip this to on and click Save Settings. Now when you do that, it will take some time to process your entire account to go to V2. I already have V2 up on this other account. Again, don't want to mess up somebody else's account there. So when you get into V2, you'll notice quite a few differences. The first thing is this navigation header is completely different. You no longer have that bar on the side. And now Settings is this gear over here on the top right. You have General, Advanced, Business, Selling, etc. The one that is completely different, completely labeled differently, is Media. Media is now Assets, simply because people don't generally use media. They upload images directly into the items. And the media was really used for the additional images or videos for your website. That's why we threw it under here, under Settings and Assets for your website. In addition, if you use the storefront, the SureDone storefront, you will see this tab right here. And if you're not using the storefront, you won't see it. So it won't be an eyesore. It won't be something that's completely in your face here. Now it's right here. And the thing that where we're going to start at is products, all products. Now with products, I'm already on this page right here. It's absolutely different compared to the V1 products page. What I'm going to show you here is every store can have their individual look and feel to the products page. You can stretch and expand as large as you want to see each and every single column. And also you can remove columns as well. You can move columns, remove, and even add columns. If you have a massive computer screen, you could add as many as you want, and it would scroll right across. Now in addition, if you click the plus sign right here, I'm just hovering over this, and if you click the plus sign, you'll see how you can sort ascendingly, descendingly, such as if you're wanting to sort by the stock. You want to see what most items you have, you would sort ascendingly by the stock. Same thing with price. Now price is the general field. As you can see on my screen, I actually loaded up eBay price and Amazon price. Because for me specifically, I have different prices for eBay and Amazon. I'm sure most of you do too. And you want to be able to edit those prices. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to show you how to add additional columns. Because right now we have in stock, price, title, color, size. This may not be what you actually want. You could simply hit delete field, and it would move it over here into this plus sign. Now with this plus sign, let's say you need to see what your cost is. I'm going to go ahead and add cost. And let's say you want to kick it over here next to price. You could either move field 1 to the left, or if you want to make it jump, 10 to the left. And you see it's now over here. I'm going to move it again, 1 to the right, 1 to the right. And now it's over here next to price. I can adjust this to make it fit here. And you'll see the cost, price, and if you had different pricing for eBay and Amazon. In this case, this demo account does not. And obviously, if you're going to be actually listing these on eBay and Amazon, those would show up here as well. But again, this is a demo account. So just to remove a field, it would be simple enough to just click the plus. and then click delete field. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is inline editing. As you scroll over the SKU or GUID, you see this little arrow, this little down arrow right over here. When I click the down arrow, you'll see a few options. If you have a storefront, if you have a SureDone storefront, you can click view item here. And also view summary, this is a little bit new compared to what you guys are used to. If this has actually been listed, edited, etc., it actually shows logging, it shows the history of what's going on with this particular item. It would show you what happened. In this case, it was started and then edited, and also it shows which user, in this case it shows account ID, it shows which user is doing the editing here. That is view summary. I'm going to skip edit inline for right now. We have create similar. So if you need to do a complete duplicate and you want to change just one aspect of a single item, you could click create similar, and then you can make your edits and list from there. Create variation we're going to cover a little bit later as well, because there's quite a few new things with variations you may not be used to, and it's going to save some time tremendously. Relist if it's not currently listed, and delete. I'm going to jump back up here to edit inline, and what this does is it actually opens up the fields to be able to edit directly in line. Let's say you get more of this item. You can just jump that up to 20 in stock, or maybe you want to drop the price a little bit. You could do that as well. Once you're finished here, you click the check mark and it saves your settings. And if it's listed on eBay or Amazon or wherever, it's going to automatically adjust the stock, the price, whatever you changed. It only sends in the fields that you just changed. Now let's say you never want the title to be edited whenever your employees are doing single item edits or anything. You can actually go up here to the plus sign and uncheck inline editable. Now, whenever I go back to it and I click edit inline, you'll notice it completely skips this. You cannot change this field right here. Now, in addition, you can do single item edits, and you can also do bulk edits as well. You can either select the whole page, what you're seeing here, or you can choose which items you want to edit, go to bulk actions, bulk edit. When you do this, you will see a field column across right here. And same as what I was saying before, you could actually remove the title field to not be bulk editable. And in this case, let's just say you want to take all of the price down to $274.99. As you see, I was typing up here and it automatically adjusted these fields down here. Now, let's just say I had 10 items selected whenever I did that, but this one I wanted to be $279. You can still do that, and it did not modify any of these up here, but in bulk, you already did edit all of these as well. Once you're finished, you click Save Bulk, and again, it would just send in those fields, and it will update live on any active listing, whether it be eBay, Amazon, your storefront, etc. So that is bulk editing right there. Now I'm going to go into and actually show you how to create a listing it directly onto eBay and also Amazon. And if you have any questions, let's save them to the end, and I'll ask that you guys put them in the chat. So from here, you'll notice a big difference, that there's a scroll bar right over here. This is a one-page scroller. This is fixed over here on the left, and also the footer is fixed as well. So it doesn't matter how far you scroll, you could still add while the page is not all the way at the bottom. And also you can simply jump to the different sections here. This saves a ton of time. Also with the list on, it used to be skip. The action for those that are used to V1, the action used to be called skip, and it used to be under each individual section. Now it lives under general up here at the top. For this case, I'm actually going to skip everything except for I'm only going to list on Amazon main and eBay main. Now if you notice, there's a validation X right here. This means that I do not have enough information for the item to actually be listed on Amazon main, eBay main, and all I'm going to do here is go ahead and fill out some information. The price, we will call it $9.99, and also how many are in stock, we'll say 5. So now that I've filled out those specific fields, you'll see that the validation is now green. I'm going to jump down here, the full description. This would be sent to eBay as well as Amazon. It'll be sent to every channel, and you can edit things as you need to. One thing I'm forgetting, I'm about to pass by it, is that we have fields that will automatically duplicate in the other sections. So in this case, we have Rubik's Cube up in the title. I entered Rubik's Cube, and if you go down to Amazon main, you'll see that it's what we call ghosted. It's a duplicate here. And if you want to change the title, you can. You can click in here, and maybe you want to make it capital. You could do that, but it will not make that particular change across the board, only if you go back up to General and change this. Now, another field that is shared between all of the different sections would be size, color, if the item specifics requires it. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and fill in Rubik's, and thinking about shoe sizes because I'm going to work on that later, actually. We'll go ahead and say size 8 in color blue. We'll see that here in the future. And I'll show you when we get down to eBay. So right now, I'm on Amazon. With Amazon, let me go ahead and pull up an ASIN here. There we go. So if you have an ASIN, for those that list on Amazon, you guys already understand. If you have an ASIN, you don't need a category. But the category selector is a little bit different and is a little bit faster than it used to be. So in this case, we're going to be going with toys and games. I'm just putting this in place. If you didn't have an ASIN, you're going to be selecting the categories. And I'm going to type in, what is this? It's a brain teaser. Once you do that, it actually reduces down to only the options that you need to see here. We'll call it puzzle box. That could be in the wrong category. But after you select that, again, you could also change the price. Let's say this is going to be $10.99 because I know I could get more on Amazon. And this item is ready to go. And I'm actually going to go ahead and go down to eBay main. And as you see again, the title, Rubik's Cube, I could change that. Obviously, I want to maximize as many as possible and put as close to 80 characters, so I could fill this out to be a little bit more. My defaults automatically select US and fixed price item, but you can simply select auction if need be. You could also switch on best offer. If you do an auto accept, auto deny, the price, again, as you see it right here. And if you knew the category ID off the top of your head, you could key in that numerical value, or you can go ahead and type in brain teaser, if I could spell it right. There we go. I'm going to click search, and it drops down this bar right here. And we have actually twist puzzle. That's what we're going to call it. And once you select it, it automatically fills in this category. And as you saw right below here, the item specifics instantly drop down here. Now, as you can see, brand, Rubik's, it's already here. Why? Because we filled it in up here under general. Brand, size, color, obviously size and color have nothing to do with Rubik's Cubes. But if it did, if the item specifics required style, any of that, it would automatically populate in here. Now here's the neat thing. With the item specifics and also those particular fields, I just changed Rubik's Cube. Now I'm going to go back up to general, and you can see that it changed up here as well. These are the only fields that it does this with. It does not do that with the title. The title is its own entity and is pretty much ghosted or duplicated into these other fields here. But if you're filling in color, size down here, obviously it's not going to be a different color or size or brand in the general. So you're sharing this field across all the different sections here. Moving down a little bit further, we already typed in that description. That description lived in general. Custom description, just so you know, it would override your entire template in your description. If you're thinking about how your description is shown in eBay, it's not just the words of your description, it's actually an entire template. So if you have a custom design template, if you enter anything in here, it will completely null out your visual template that lives in your description section in eBay. If you have multiple templates, let's just say you have 4 different designs. You sell cell phones, clothing, etc., and you want to select the clothing template. If I had any in this account, it would drop it down and it would show you. You would easily be able to select the clothing template if that were the case. Entering store categories for your eBay store categories would be right here. And payment profile, etc. Very simple stuff, basic stuff. We're going to skip over the second eBay account here. I'm going to jump down to media. Now with media, if you haven't seen this yet, it's pretty neat. You can actually drag images from your desktop right onto here. I'm grabbing another image from another section. As you can see, I can simply just drop it right in here if that's what I wanted to do. So if you have a folder open and you just want to drag and drop, it's as simple as doing that. I'm going to go ahead and choose a file here, and let's go ahead and select one. So once it jumps in here, you can select multiple images. I'm going to click on it. I'm not going to spend too much time on here because this is a very Instagram simple photo editor. You can change the orientation, you can crop images. Typically these are the basic options that you would want to do. Once you're done, go ahead and click save. Now as far as shipping goes, if you have eBay shipping profiles created, this would be under business policies. This is a very simple way to reduce time while you're listing on eBay. In this particular case, I created a shipping profile directly in eBay called jeans. And what you can do is you can name all of your profiles. This pulls in all of your profiles dynamically as long as you go to settings, channels, and you reset your profiles. It pulls in all of the profiles right here. If you don't want to use a profile, let's say you're listing something that you don't normally list, a computer monitor. You can go ahead and click X over here to erase the shipping profile. When you do, now you notice that all of the other options have now dropped down so you can potentially select them. You can put the location. You can put the postal code, site shipping, handling time, select UPS flat rate envelope. That's not right. Nobody uses that. We will select package and thick envelope. Once you do that, once you select everything as far as the site, location, the shipping package type, then you can select whatever option it is that you ship with. You can add a domestic shipping here if you have more. You can also offer free if you wanted to do that. If you're doing flat rate shipping versus calculated shipping, flat rate you would enter in a cost, calculated you would remove the cost, it would be blank, and you would want to enter in postal code and also select your options, making sure that you entered in weight. Otherwise, you cannot do calculated shipping without entering weight, removing cost, and adding postal code, as well as the obvious selecting a service and package type. Now, if you're doing flat rate, again, all you got to do is enter in cost, and that overrides if you have hybrid shipping selected. That would override the fact that you're doing calculated, and it would automatically do flat rate. If you're doing international shipping, you can toggle that on right here. If you're using the global shipping program, again, toggle that on. And if that's all you're doing, great. You can leave that alone, or you can go through the process of setting up your shipping. Now with Amazon, I'm going to scroll down a bit more, and you will see custom fields right here. With custom fields, you can actually create as many custom fields as you want, and you can organize them now. With this, with organization, I know some of you guys, you've been with us for a while, and also you have maybe imported from Amazon. You've created custom fields, and now somehow you have 150 custom fields. It's a real pain to try to manage all of that, especially whenever you primarily deal in cell phones. So maybe you deal in cell phones and you have 5 fields you typically have. Great. Let's say you don't need part number anymore. I'm going to X that out. Where do they go? It went up here in the custom field display section. Let's say you need it back. Let's say you need carrier. No problem. You just select it and it appends right down here at the bottom. You could fill it in, and maybe the next time you start listing, you see carrier again, you can get rid of it again. All it's doing is hiding it and making the custom fields a usable area that makes more sense for you. The last that I can show you here, which doesn't show anything because this is a brand new item, is the history. If you have listed the item, if you've edited the item, it's ended, you've relisted, it would show all of that history down here as well. Now that's listing on eBay and Amazon, and what I'm going to show you now is variations. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create Draft, because when you do variations, you don't want to click Add first, because what you're going to do is you're going to automatically list this item on eBay and Amazon. So to create a variation, I'm going to click Create Draft. Once you click Create Draft, then it's going to load up a way so that you can set it from here. You'll see select an action, and then you'll select create variation. Now, as you can notice up here, I want to show you this before we get moving. We have edit/1803. 1803 is the item number within SureDone. Now, just keep an eye on this. When I click create variation, I had already selected size and color. Now, you have to be sure that before you click create variation, you already have something that's a variant. It has to be filled in. You have to have, like in this case, I was talking about shoes earlier. I already had size 8 and color blue already entered in. So in this case, we're going to go with size 9, color green. Even though it says Rubik's Cube, just ignore that. Let's go ahead and click create here. Again, we said 1803, it's loading up the information. It's copying all of the information over. And now, as you can see, it just switched to 1804. I am currently in the child, or the next variation, of this item. So as I scroll down, you saw I entered in size 9, color green. Great. Now, let's just say the only thing I have to change, I only have 4 of these. Also, let me go down to media. I want to remove this. I'm actually going to choose a different color. I'm going to choose my green, only because I said green. I'm going to go ahead and add that in here. Now, before I go to select an action, create variation, I'm actually going to hit update because I want to save what I just did. I want to save the images. I want to save the stock that I just changed. Click update. Again, 1804. We're just going to make sure that's not changing. This is the easiest way that I see how to do it. 1804, great. I'm still on here. Awesome. I'm going to go to select an action, create variation. We're going number 3. 10. Red, create. Now we're looking for 1805. Once this pops up, awesome. I'm just going to double check that everything is correct here. We did 10, red. That's exactly what I want to see. Stock, I have 6 of these. Now, again, I'm going to go down, erase that image, add this image. Perfect. I'm going to hit update. Now, as you can see here, once you start getting into variations, a new tab shows up here. Now, I'm in 1805. I'm in that last child variation. I'm going to go ahead and hit variations just to show you where I'm at. With variations, you have a few different things. You have the original SKU, 0055. And once you start creating items, now we have 0055-1. And the reason why we don't see red up here is because we are in red. We're in the red option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the parent item so we can see everything going on here. And once you get into the parent item, again, you won't see in this table, you won't see additional variations. You won't see the original variation, which is that number 1, but you will see all of the children variation that are underneath it. So as you can see here, as you can see right here, you got 4, 2, because I said green and red. And now, if I want to create another variation, you can actually do that in line right here. Create variation. Go with size 7. I forgot the other color. I'll say blue. Create. Now this creates them on the fly. So what it's doing is it is duplicating everything. So if that was the only thing that changed, being the size, the color, then you wouldn't have to do anything else after that. But in my case, I'm changing the stock, and I'm also changing the images as well. Let me get back to it. All right, I did something not right. Let's see here. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry, I'm in 1806. I'm in the variation child. So once you create it, now I'm going back to SKU 0055 because I was living in that variation so that I could have changed the image. But as you can see down here, it's a duplicate. When you create variations, it's essentially doing a duplicate. Even though I changed the size and the color, it's creating a duplicate. So you can also, you see how, remember on the products page, there was that little arrow? You can click the arrow and edit in line. This is pretty sick. So let's say stock on this one. Now you have 3. Great. It actually saves all of that. So this is a much easier way to manage your variations. Another thing is, okay, so this is 0055. I'm actually going to go ahead and get out of this item. And I'm going to search SKU 0055 just so you can see that whenever you search that, we have the parent and all the children out here in the search. I searched the main SKU, even though the GUID changes for each one. And you could change this. As we were creating new variations, it was asking us, do you want this -1? I could have said -green or -red, -blue, whatever the case may be. And even out here, you can still bulk action, bulk edit, and make changes out here as well. So you can make changes in line within the actual variation while you're in the parent item, or you can do it out here as well. So that is variations. And one of the other things I want to show you is adding multiple instances. I've had a lot of people asking, how can you add multiple instances within SureDone? And it's very simple. I'm going to go up here to settings and then channels. Now this is specifically for eBay and Amazon. In this case, we have 2 eBays, 2 Amazons right here. And it's as simple as this. You would only see half of this, and you would click add instance. You can say add eBay. And for me personally, I want to be able to see what the name of the eBay account is. So you could name it whatever your eBay account is. Once you do that, again, we flipped it on, we named it. We can leave Amazon alone. We're not adding another instance of Amazon. I'm going to click Save Settings, and it simply creates another line right here. eBay account. I called it eBay account. And everything, you have to set all of the settings, authorize the token, and you simply have another eBay account. Whenever you're listing your items, you'll have the other option, the other checkbox, to be able to list on that eBay account. Now, I want to remove this instance of this eBay account. This simple. It can't be any more simple than that. We spent a lot of time trying to make this as simple as possible for you to add, remove, or even just be able to list or choose which items you want to list on. The last thing I want to show is plugins. I know I'm going a little bit over time, but I also want to show you guys everything. And I am actually I'm recording all of these webinars, and I will be uploading it to YouTube and sending it out to everybody that signed up for this. The last thing I wanted to show was just settings plugins. And as we add more plugins, you'll see them right in here. I'm going to go into Etsy specifically, and you'll see new instance. Let's just say I already had Etsy 1 turned on. Everything's all authorized. I can click new instance, which I've already done that before. And it's just the same thing as what you just saw with eBay and Amazon having new instances here. So that is that. That's really how far in depth we really need to go today. What we are going to do tomorrow is, not tomorrow, and what we are going to do next week is we're going to have specific webinars, how to list on eBay, single item, kind of what I just did, only more in depth, and also in bulk. If you primarily list items in bulk, we really want you to join that webinar so we can show you the best way to set up your spreadsheets and make sure you can add and edit items and it makes more sense. And also next week, so we have listing on eBay, single and bulk. We're also going to have listing on Amazon, single and in bulk. Those are going to be Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is eBay, Thursday is Amazon. So